everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Joelle and I am a part-time reseller on a few platforms, primarily Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. And today I have a what's sold video, but instead of talking about all of my sales, I am just going to talk about what is selling fast right now. So we're gonna go over my quickest sales this past month of March. And by quickest sales, I mean inventory that sold within 2 weeks or less of listing. And we're gonna go over what sold fast on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And now we're gonna get into those quick Poshmark sales. My first quick sale on Poshmark sold within 2 days of listing, and it was this Victoria's Secret Dream Angels demi bra. So I have become a big fan lately of selling bras, especially Victoria's Secret. I was looking through some of my older sales and I've sold a lot of the demi bra and a lot of push-up bras, and they tend to sell for around $20 to $25 and pretty quick. So this bra was new without tags and it sold at my full asking price for $25. This next Poshmark sale shows the power of relisting. I sold this J. Crew boiled wool blazer. So this blazer jacket had been sitting in my closet for a long time, at least since August or September, and I purchased it for 98 cents, so I was willing to let it go. I had dropped the price for several closet clear out days because this jacket had up to 20 likes the first time I listed it. I relisted it again and it got around 10 to 12 likes. The other night, by the time this jacket got down to $31, I decided to relist it again. So I relisted it at like 11:30 at night. I was pretty restless, so I was going through my Poshmark closet. And after 10 short minutes of being relisted, somebody offered me $40 on a $65 listing, and I decided to accept because of the low cost of goods and the fact that it had been in my closet for quite some time. So I hope you get a lot of stuff out of this video, but I hope that you especially learn that relisting is so important when it comes to making sales on Poshmark. My next two sales were both sandals, and they came from my most recent threaded box, which is linked below. It was a pretty successful one. There were a lot of good bread and butter brands, and first up, I sold this pair of Steve Madden Issy sandals. So I listed these on all of my platforms, and they got a lot of attention on all of my platforms. I had sent out a lot of offers for 10% and there were no bites, but on Poshmark, these got up to about 15 likes and I finally received a $35 offer. I had these listed for $50, but they did have a few spots on the material. So I knew that realistically, I'd probably get around $30 to $35 for them. Because they had only been listed for around 2 weeks, I decided to accept, and I ended up profiting $22.66. Steve Madden is one of my favorite brands to sell on Poshmark. I usually get around that $20 to $30 range profit for them. But as I was looking at my sales with the brand, I have sold a purse along with a lot of sandals and a couple pairs of boots. So overall, it is a great brand to sell. You just really have to look up comps and make sure that you're not pricing too high because Steve Madden is pretty oversaturated. But if you can make your listings stand out, then you could get a good profit. My final quickest sale on Poshmark was another pair of sandals, as I said, from my threaded box, and it is the Mia Lula sandal. So Mia is not typically a brand that I would pick up to resell, even though they do have a lot of good trendy pieces. I typically wouldn't spend above $2 to $3 for it. And I say that because Mia is all over stores like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and they're also sold at Nordstrom Rack. And those shoes tend to have really big sales on their clearance. So in terms of resale value, they might retail for upwards to $70 to $100, but a lot of people know that they could get them cheaper at a retail store like Marshalls. But I did have these listed for $40, which was again a little bit higher than I would expect to sell them for. And like those Steve Madden sandals, they got a ton of attention on all of my platforms. But I ended up selling these the day after I sold the Steve Madden sandals, and they sold at my full price for $40. Which left me with a profit of $26.66. So again, I hope y'all get a lot out of this video, but another huge thing is to get your sandals listed now. I'd especially recommend a lot of chunky heels or block heels, any type of platform, and anything with a lot of straps. I can tell you that these two sandals can be dressed up or down, and I think that with the upcoming spring season and wedding season, people are on the lookout for comfortable and nice shoes, and these shoes were both examples of that. So those are my Poshmark sales. We will get into eBay and Mercari, but I do want to say that my Poshmark sales this month, like a lot of other resellers I've noticed, have been extremely slow. I did a poll on my YouTube wall and a lot of you voted that your sales have been slower. And some of you said that your sales have been better than ever. And I'm so happy for you because that means that you are beating that search algorithm and you are producing some really great items. So I'm so happy that there are still people who are making a lot of sales. and I hope that it does pick up for the rest of us. And I've also seen that a lot of people said that their sales are picking up, and I have definitely noticed that in my own closet. This past week or so, I have been seeing those daily sales again and seeing some really good profits on all of my platforms, including Poshmark. So let's hope for better sales for all of us. And now we're gonna get into what has been selling fast on eBay. So eBay was a new platform that I started a couple of weeks ago. I've always been a little bit more scared of scammers on eBay and the fact that you don't have to pay immediately when you buy an item, but I decided to just get over and start listing because that slow Poshmark couple of months just really made me want to try out new platforms. So these are my first 3 sales that I've had on eBay, and they all sold within the first couple of days on the platform. First up, we have a pair of vintage Levi's denim shorts. The style is the 512, and according to a Levi's vintage Facebook group, it is a group of people that help you identify what year your Levi's came from or what style it is. I figured out that they're from 1993. So Levi's is always a great bolo brand. I know that the 501 sells really well and the wedgie style sells well if you want to get a more modern style up for sale. And really anything vintage or high-waisted is always something you should be on the lookout for. Comps were all over the place for this specific pair of shorts, and so I decided to list them for $50, which was right around in the middle, and I received an offer on eBay for $35. So I decided to accept it, and like I said, it was my first sale, so that was very exciting for me. This next sale was something that I decided to cross list on eBay because it wasn't getting a lot of bites on Mercari or Poshmark, and it was this a pea in the pod maternity dress, and it was new with tags. So this dress retailed for $98, and I got it for 98 cents at my favorite thrift store. And although it got a lot of likes on Poshmark and Mercari both, I just wasn't getting any offers. So I decided to list this on eBay, and I listed it for $50, I believe, which was definitely pretty high, but I figured since it was new with tags, I could list it a little bit higher, and I'd be willing to send out a little bit more drastic offers to people. So after just 2 days on eBay, somebody offered me $22 for this dress, and I decided to accept it. And for all my eBay sales, the buyers have paid and it's been shipped out. I just have my funds on hold, so I don't know exactly how much my profit will be, but it will be probably around that $16 to $17 range after those eBay fees. This final fast eBay sale, like that J. Crew jacket on my Poshmark sales, shows the power of relisting. It was a pair of Asics tennis shoes. So if you watched one of my more recent videos, I did a thrift haul review from Black Friday, and I talked about what has sold and what hasn't sold yet. And I had not sold a lot of shoes that I had gotten from that thrift haul. These sneakers were a part of it. They were listed on Poshmark since Black Friday, and they had gotten no likes whatsoever. It was definitely frustrating to see that, and so naturally this was one of the first listings that I had on eBay. I decided to put it up for auction. After 1 week, there was somebody who had purchased the shoes for $15. They were the only bidder, and it ended up being a scammer. But eBay allows a certain amount of renewed listings. I'm not an expert by any means, so I can't tell you how much, but I know that they did renew it for free. So it went back up for auction, and somebody did end up bidding and paying for the shoes immediately. So while I only sold these shoes for $15, I was really happy to see them get out of my closet. And just like relisting items on Poshmark, cross-listing is just as important if you want to sell on multiple platforms, because it just gets more eyes on your items in general. All right, now that we've gone over Poshmark and eBay, we will now get into those fast Mercari sales. And my first quick Mercari sale sold within about 12 hours of listing. It was a bundle of Ralph Lauren polo hats. So Mercari does not have a bundle system like Poshmark does, and so if you want to put a bundle of items, you have to include them all in one listing. I contemplated listing these separately, but I decided to list all 3 in one listing, and I did 3 for $20. And then I put in the description that I would sell them separately and that people could just specify which one or which ones they wanted. But like I said, this bundle did sell within 12 hours of listing. Somebody bought the 3 hats at my full asking price, and I ended up profiting $17.12. One thing I love about Mercari is that you can get a lot of quick flips if you price your items right. So I have learned that Mercari buyers, for the most part, really like to find cheaper stuff. So if I have items that have a really low cost of goods and items that I'm willing to let go of for cheaper, let's say I have an Adidas jacket listed on Poshmark for $35, I might list it on Mercari for $25, and it'll get a lot more attention. And I have a lot of items on Mercari that I wouldn't necessarily list on Poshmark These hats are one of them. Hats just don't sell as well on Poshmark, but on Mercari, they seem to do better and they sell for a lot cheaper. And so I ended up getting a lot of attention on these. They were super easy to ship and it was a quick $17, which was great for me. The final sale that I will go over was this gray Carhartt hoodie that I got from my most recent bins trip. So I learned from a lot of Poshmark Facebook groups that Carhartt is a quick flip on a lot of platforms. So I decided to list it on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. It got attention on all three platforms. I honestly thought that it was gonna sell immediately on Poshmark because it got 8 likes in the first day of listing. I had it listed on all platforms for $35, and after 2 days, I received a $28 offer on Mercari. I thought that was extremely reasonable. My cost of goods was about $1.27 for this bins trip. I paid $20.28 total, and so I ended up making my money back and then some just off of one sale. So for this hoodie, I ended up profiting $22.82. All right, we have now gone over all of my quickest sales of the month of March. Like I said, my Poshmark sales in general were extremely slow compared to my other months. I typically do a what's sold video in March, but honestly, all of the Poshmark updates have really affected that, and so I figured that I would highlight something else, and that was quickest sales. For me, quick sales are a huge win for me, and I'm always willing to let go of items for a lot less if I can get a quick flip. Some of these I might have just had a buyer in the right place at the right time, but I also think that a lot of these items sold quick because of the style or the category. For example, those 2 sandals that I sold on Poshmark, the Steve Madden and the Mia sandals, they are both trendy styles, and we are entering that warmer weather time. We have high school dances coming up, weddings, graduations, and a lot of other spring and summer events, so people are on the lookout for sandals or heels. And I also quickly sold some Levi's shorts along with a dress. So now that we're at the end of the video, I really hope that you all learned about some brands or styles that sell well. If your sales have been slow like mine, I hope that they get better, or if they're picking up, I hope they continue to get better. And if your sales are through the roof right now, please keep up the good work. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all for the next video.